how we got together and what led to our marriage. I don't know, about 6 years ago or 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I was a naive sophomore at Columbia University, and I saw the most beautiful Puerto Rican lady that I've ever seen in my life. And turns out 5 years later, she's actually not Puerto Rican, she's Navajo.
No, I never told you I was Puerto Rican.
I know, but in New York City, who's going to say, oh, there's a Navajo girl, right? So we were friends for a really long time, and then eventually started having, we eventually had a relationship. And
we met at Columbia University. We're both students. He was a year ahead, and this superstar jock that I didn't want anything to do with, because I thought he was a little too cocky for me. But he won me over as a friend. He was very supportive of me when I didn't have any family in the city, and I was going through some really tough times with the culture at the school. And I found in him a support system. And from there, you know, I think we denied it for a really long time.
I tricked her.
We fell in love and discovered together what that meant, and from there learned together how to make that commitment grow and how to nurture it. I was told I wasn't going to be able to have children, and so when we got pregnant, it was a huge shock and miracle, because we did sit around and talk about wanting kids and wanting to have a family. We never talked about marriage, though, which is surprising. We just knew we wanted to be parents, and we wanted to be great parents. And when we had our miracle baby, things kind of fell into place, and we felt a little pressured to rush into marriage, and we didn't really know how to make that jump, that commitment. I mean, he's from Trinidad, I'm from the Navajo reservation, and my family, you know, they couldn't come to the city to help us plan and watch this relationship grow. And so BJ, fortunately, is Kern's mentor, and I was privileged enough to meet him through Kern and to get to know him through rugby. He provided a lot of support and love and guidance, and was really that family figure in the city that helped us understand the importance of marriage and what it could do for us, and sort of helped us get over our initial fears and hesitations, because, you know, being young, you hear about divorce as if it's
that's what you're gonna
a
do.
Given. That's what happens, you know, like you get married, then you get divorced, and maybe you get married again. And that was really the culture that we're, you know, growing in.
Yeah.
And it scared us. It scared us away from the commitment. It scared us away from making that investment into marriage. But when we spoke with BJ and we realized that we both come from families where they have healthy marriages and long-lasting marriages, both our parents are still
married,
together, we started to get over that fear. BJ Weber was very influential in helping guide us through all those questions that we had and all those fears that we had. He was Kern's rugby coach and also a pastor, a very inspiring pastor. And so our relationship with him really helped us get over those fears and hesitations and confusion, because marriage and navigating even the thought of getting married can be very confusing sometimes.
I think that our generation, kids our age, just have this, as Janine said before, there's this, you get married and if it doesn't work out, you can get divorced. There's always that option. And you see TV where people are together and they say they're in love, and then 5 years later, I hate you, you know, I wish I never met you. And we were terrified of that. Terrified of going through this process and then ending up at that spot. So even though both Janine and I, our parents are still married to, their spouses, I guess. You know, even though that, there's still this whole kind of stigma today, and just BJ just really helped us see that, you know, other people's problems with marriage isn't the problem with marriage. Marriage isn't the problem, is what I think I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think in our conversations with him, what was really helpful was that it got down to the point where he exposed the fact that our fear was hurting each other. Not that we didn't believe in marriage or that we didn't want to marry one another, but that we're scared that eventually we would cause a tremendous amount of pain to one another. And, you know, so that's when he invited us to come to a Love and Ministries event, Love and Respect Ministries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Love and Respect Ministries event? And there we got to, you know, be around married couples who've been married for all, you know, lengths of time.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, you know, the fears that we had and just how they themselves discovered that that's part of growing and loving and building a family is committing to each other and going through this ceremony that represents that commitment and have people that you love that are close to you witness that commitment to start off on this journey that's not going to be perfect, that is full of challenges, but that, you know, you work through. You work through because you shared your vows with one another before these people.